Hey guys, this is Kami Ken, and this is kind of a more spiritual woo talk. But no matter what you plan or what you have in mind, destiny always has a different plan, or fate always has a different path for you in mind. And it could be whether you want to work in manga in Japan, or whether you want to make comics in America, or webtoons in Korea, or anything in between. If you're meant to do it, you will do it. Like, if you're meant to work in Japan and come from America and go over there and do that, you will do it. And if you're not meant to do it, no matter what you do to try to make it happen, it just won't happen. It won't materialize. And conversely, no matter what you do to try to stop yourself from working in any specific industry, you will work there no matter what. And that's kind of a nuanced point to make. So let me try to break it down a little bit so you can understand. The easiest way to think of it is sort of like this. From what I've heard, I'm pretty sure there are 400 working athletes in the NFL. So there's 400 spots total in the entire NFL. And if you want to make it to the NFL, there's a pool of perhaps millions of people trying to get into the NFL, because there's money associated with it, there's fame associated with it, there's power and wealth associated with it. If you can get into that 400, even if you're at the bottom of that 400, you're still in a good spot. So with so many people competing to get into the NFL, it's a rare individual who can actually make it in. And even among the millions of people who want to get in, or who are born to get in, there's only maybe hundreds of thousands who are actually qualified physically to even make it to the high school level. And so if you want to get into the NFL, but fate or destiny has decided that you're not going to make it, there, that fate needs you somewhere else, you're going to magically have a career ruining injury the year before you get into college, or the year before you even have a chance to get into the NFL. You're going to have some type of injury that blocks that off for you. And no matter how much you think about fighting through it, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen the way that you want it to. And that's not a bad thing at all. That is just life working itself out. Because there's people that I know who actually did want to get into the NFL, that actually did want to do those things, but they became so much more impactful and so much more useful doing something else, doing the thing that they were meant to do. And the way destiny works even is like your thoughts will turn you away from the things that you decided you want to do. It, like, if you try doing a certain thing, you might just feel like doing something else. And then you might find that you like doing that something else a little bit more than the thing you thought you were supposed to do. And you keep doing that, you keep trying it, you keep trying, and before you know it, you're the hamburger guy, or you're, the pizza man or whatever, and you're completely happy. You're like fulfilled because you're doing what you actually were meant to do, rather than fighting destiny to do something that wasn't meant to be. And as a converse to that, there are people who weren't exactly aiming to get into specific spaces, let's say the manga industry or the anime industry, who weren't exactly aiming for that, and yet somehow ended up there anyway. And people look at them thinking like, oh man, they must have had everything planned out and mapped out, and they found their way to get there. But if humans plan things out, they're going to plan things out in a straight line, and you're going to walk in that straight line straight to your destination. But the actual adventure of life is in the zigzags, the ups and downs, and the loop-de-loops and all that stuff before you get to a completely different destination that you never expected. And that's kind of how it is in life. It's like For example, let's say someone like Ilya Kushinov, one really great artist online, who I'd see their work back in the day on DeviantArt, and I think, wow, this really stands out. Like, I really like how they draw eyes. I like their style, all that stuff. And they're a Russian artist, like a Russian creator. And yet somehow they ended up in Japan doing character design and animation for Japanese commercials and works. And it's like, were you even aiming to go there? Like, how did you end up there? And it could just be like, it could be something as simple as, oh, I was working for a specific company in Russia, and then I got picked and transferred over to go to Japan for a 1 week project. I ended up liking it, and now I'm just here working in Japan. Whereas that might be some people's greatest dreams, and if it's meant to happen for them, it will. But some people just end up in spots that, because they weren't aiming for it, they just ended up there. It's similar to my video, which I'll link in the description, about Eiichiro Oda and how he didn't plan to be #1 in Jump. It just happened like that. It was fate pushing him, giving his mind the ideas that needed to be created to put his story at the top of the magazine. Am I saying that you have no control over where you go? No, of course not. You have as much control over your life as any other human. But there are certain things that are going to happen to you that you're not expecting at all, that'll blindside you and make you change course if you're not on the course that life, God, the universe needs you to be on. Some people are supposed to invent the new wheel. Some people are supposed to be the best pizza maker in America. But it's not everything that you decide to do that is going to be what comes to pass. So don't beat yourself up too much if you don't actually achieve the goals that you initially set out to do, because there's a good chance you'll be much happier, much more fulfilled, and much more effective in a different location, in a different spot in life. So try not to fight the stream too much. Try not to fight fate too much, or you'll waste all your energy fighting things that aren't meant to be, rather than going with the flow of life and being where you're meant to be and being the most effective human you can be, reaching your full potential at what you aimed for. But this doesn't mean to get complacent. This doesn't mean to let go of the tiller and let everything just take care of itself. You got to still work, especially for the goals that you have in mind and for the goals that you've decided are more important to you than anything else. And if you'd like to see the work that I'm putting all of my everything into, it's a supernatural horror action comedy called Saintly. It is a demon chase horror action comedy about two best friends who have to outrun the demon loan sharks that they borrowed from. Basically, it's like Scooby-Doo meets K-pop Demon Hunters without the K-pop. And the story backs the main character into a corner where she has to decide between the hard path to success or lose her soul to the lure of easy money. And we get to see the ramifications of her choice, and if she can hide this deal with the devil from her friend, or if it will tear them apart. And I hope you read my comic in the description and check out the story. It should appear in your email inbox or your spam folder if you don't see it. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.